So, Fiat is on a roll at the moment, changing their products lineup. We have the Fiat 500e and the Fiat 500 Hybrid. We also have the Tipo and this new car, the Fiat 600e. This replaces the old 500X, but this time it is electric. But it can also be had with a mild hybrid option too. Is this any good, and had Stellantis helped them out? Well, let's find out. Hello everyone, welcome to Everything Cars and More. This is the #1 place to be for car news and reviews. Sit back, buckle up, let's go. So the styling from the outside is best described as a swollen 500e. We get the same headlight design as the 500e, but this time it's slightly bigger. The central grille is also very similar, but rather than the 500 lettering we have the 600 badging. Lower down we get a body coloured central air vent, which to be honest I'm not sure about, as it does show the black radar sensor, which really should be hidden in my opinion. We do get some side vents though that are connected to the central air vent, and these house the fog lights. Moving round to the side we can clearly see a 500 silhouette. We get an extra door as this is a 5-door and a lot of matte black plastic body cladding to make it look off-roader like, just like the 500X was. We also get the door handles and wing mirrors from the Mocha, which is in the Stellantis range. The wheels now are quite stylish, and there is a lot of tyre wall on them, which therefore makes it harder to curb the wheels, but also makes the ride more comfortable too. Moving round to the back, and just like the front, the rear is based on the 500e. I do like the tail lights on the 600 more though, as they are more stylish. The boot is also slightly different, as it has a different rear bar that isn't integrated like the 500e is. The bumper is also rugged looking with more matte black plastic. What I will say though, on this red edition it does look quite plain for me. The badges are all in red, which hides them, and there isn't any silver effect on the skid plates at the front or the back. This would make the car look better, as at the moment it just feels a bit plain. If you don't go for the red edition though, then the badges will be chrome, and personally this is a better option. Let's have a look at what battery and motor options you can have with the new 600e, but let's also have a look at the petrol options that you can have with the regular 600. So, as you may already know, the range of the 600 consists of an electric drive option called the 600e, or the petrol mild hybrid drive option called the 600. Let's start with the 600e. This uses the Stellantis 153 brake horsepower electric motor. This is mated to a 54 kWh battery pack, giving you about 254 miles on a full charge. But in the real world, expect it to be around 190 to 200 miles on an average day. 0 to 62 is dealt with in 9 seconds, so it isn't that bad, but it isn't the best either. For the regular 600 models, we get the usual new 1.2 litre hybrid turbo units that we know very well from the Peugeot range. This has 99 brake horsepower and is mated to a 6-speed eDCT gearbox. 0 to 62 though is dealt with in a slow 11 seconds, which isn't the best. The price of the new Fiat 600 starts at £23,975, whilst the 600e starts at £32,995, which is quite a lot considering for what this car actually is. I'll get on to that later. Right, let's have a look at the interior. So, climbing inside, and sadly it does feel like you're getting in a Peugeot parts bin. Now, I know that Fiat is part of Stellantis, which is part of the PSA group, but they could have been slightly more creative. The indicator stalks and wiper stalks are straight from a Peugeot, as too are the steering wheel controls and even the infotainment system, which isn't the best on the market, and the graphics don't look the best on the Fiat models either, which makes this infotainment system worse in my opinion. Thankfully though, you do get wireless Android Auto and wireless Apple CarPlay. You also get a digital instrument cluster that's taken from the Corsa, but it does have its own Fiat design which is better than the infotainment system. The climate control switches and gear selector is all from the Jeep Avenger, which this car is actually more closely related to than its other Stellantis models. It also inherits the centre console from the Jeep, which I am not a fan of. You get this iPad style flap which hides a huge storage area, but this flap can be removed and it just feels like an afterthought to me. It also feels too cheap and tacky for the price of this car, which really shouldn't. The seats aren't that bad though, and the overall dashboard design is snazzy and retro with the bar dashboard, just like the old Fiat 500s. What I do wish though is that the software and switches could be better than they are. Anyway, let's have a look at the rear seats. So getting to the back of the 600e and the door opening isn't that wide, just like the Stellantis group. Legroom is also tight behind a 6-footer, but headroom isn't that bad. You don't get an armrest though, and on this model you don't even get storage in the back, which is a big disappointment. Let's have a look and see if the boot can make up for this. So, opening the boot, we are welcomed with not the biggest boot in its class at 360 litres with the seats up. Compared to its sister car, the 2008, it is small, as the 2008 has 435 litres. The cheaper and better, in my opinion, MG ZS EV also has 480 litres. It is more though than the Mocha and Volvo EX30 though. Folding the rear seats down, you get 1,231 litres, which isn't bad for this type of car, but again, it could be more. So, what do I think of the new Fiat 600e then? Well, it could be better in many areas. The styling inside and out is great. The Peugeot parts bin is just too obvious for me though, and this really ruins the car. The practicality issues are also a downgrade from this car too because of the platform. The previous Fiat 500X is always and will be the better car, but that isn't to say that this is a bad car though. If you want a bigger version of the 500e, then this is the version to go for. It is also the quirkiest out of the Stellantis range and personally the best. But there are better and cheaper options if you go outside of the Stellantis range. If you like this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe. See you in the next video.